Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I inquire the gentleman, the 121st?
Gentleman yield.
I do.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentlemen, I'll tell you that just this week, within the last 24 hours, I filled out this personal financial disclosure myself.
Yes.
I think it took me less than 10 minutes, but I was distracted because I was watching television at the time.
Right.
So it seems to me that it's not a great burden that we place on our elected officials to fill out this disclosure. You know, it was about 20 questions that we answered, and I'm not sure why we want to exempt 61 cities from knowing whether or not their elected officials have these financial interests that might be in conflict. Is there some reason other than some knob-noster ask you and they don't like it? Do they have something to hide?
No, there's nothing to hide from good old Stan Hall, mayor of knob-noster. No, what's happened
Why can't he spend the 10 minutes like I did?
Well, what happens is
he could probably do it.
I know you've got more. I know you've got more assets than that, gentlemen. I know you've got more. You're an attorney. You've got more assets than that.
But they don't really. It really doesn't ask you to disclose your assets. It asks you to disclose categories of assets. So I would have to be a zillionaire to spend more than a few minutes filling out that form.
Right. I mean, basically what the current statute's doing is a lot of the city council and aldermen of these 61 cities that this would affect, they don't realize there is this requirement, or they forget about the requirement, and so then they're
shouldn't we train them when they get to be elected officials? We train them in election campaign finance, and they have to sign a disclosure saying that they are aware when they file their campaign committee. Don't they file the same disclosures, sign the same acknowledgments that we do?
Well, it's a little bit different. Most of these are volunteer positions, gentlemen.
They're different? They file different papers than we do?
Well, they're just regular people filing. I'm
a regular person, gentlemen, and I file a regular financial disclosure, just like every other regular elected official in this state.
You're getting paid,
Why
gentlemen.
do people from Knob-Noster get a pass?
Excuse me?
Why do you want to give the people from Knob-Noster a pass on filling out this form? This form doesn't really tell the public anything. It merely tells you the categories of financial interest that people have. For example, if I bought and sold real estate in Knob-Noster last year, that would be on that form. Now, I just don't happen to own any real estate in Knob-Noster.
All right, think about buying real estate.
Lucky about that.
In Knob-Noster?
Yeah, I was lucky. But now, it seems to me that if I were an elected official in Knob-Noster, that would be relevant.
Gentlemen, $1 million back in 1991 is worth a lot more than that today.
Gentlemen, I know $1 million is not a lot to CPAs like you. It's a lot to me.
And it's a lot to me, too.
To the people of this state. And, you know, one of my questions was going to be, how many cities are you exempting? And you've already answered that at 61. Did I hear you say Grandview?
Grandview. Let me see. Granby?
No, Grandview. Did you say Grandview? That's one of the cities.
No, I said there's Granby, Princeton, Bonita Park, Lockwood, Bernie, Minor, Greenwood, Dixon, Ironton, Mount City, Holt Summit, Bourbon, Doniphan, Charlock, Stanberry, Battlefield, Moline Acres, Crane, Martinsville, Bismarck, Riverview, Lone Jack, Palmyra, Seneca, Waynesville, Stockton, New Florence, Forsyth, Marionville, Grant City, Wellsville, Clarkson Valley. Hold on, I'm almost done.
I'm actually interested to hear all of them, gentlemen.
La Plata, Fremont Hills, Stratford, Northwoods, Versailles, Edmondson, Kimberling City, Bowling Green, Malden.
You have not reassured me, gentlemen, because about half of those towns I've heard of. So they're not insignificant little blips on the map. They're significant because I've heard of them. So they're towns that I'm certainly aware exist. They're not little backwaters that don't matter to anybody. So it seems to me that if I'm aware of the existence of those places, that they are significant enough that they ought to file the same kind of financial disclosures that we ask of all elected officials. Now, I'm not sure why, and you haven't articulated any reason why we're going to deprive the citizens of this state and the citizens of those municipalities of the information that they would be entitled to under existing campaign finance disclosure law.
Gentleman's time has expired. Gentleman from Perry.
Thank you. This is the gentleman from Johnson yield.
I do.
That bill will hold its place on the calendar. We'll stay on that calendar. I ask that you recognize the gentleman from Clay for a motion.